Hello and welcome back, and today I want to continue talking about surveillance. With so many NAS brands that we talk about here on the channel, I often make a point of talking about IP cameras, that is, cameras that are compatible with NAS systems. But of course, a lot of you aren't looking to buy a brand new NAS. You're trying to buy a new camera to protect your home, your business, your office, your small shop, your whatever you're looking for, and you don't want to go to the trouble of buying a NAS. Maybe you've got some old SD cards knocking around or an external drive, and what you're looking for is kind of a standalone solution for a camera. And with the growing trend towards people utilizing mobile devices and tablets and more to control a complete surveillance environment, either using smart functionality or standard one app one-to-one configuration, I'm going to come back to that company that I talk about at the channel a lot, namely Reolink. Now, Reolink have sent their brand new camera to me today, and it is part of their Argus series. Now, this is the Reolink Argus Echo. Now, this is a series of devices that I haven't talked about much on the channel, and I'm going to try and skew slightly for a little while with regards to these cameras, because as much as I like talking about these cameras in conjunction with NAS, I thought it would also be worth looking, given that there's such a growing trend towards surveillance in this manner, to look at non-NAS supported devices. One, because almost certainly in most cases they are considerably more affordable than cameras that need to be bolted on to an existing NVR, but moreover they are far more user friendly, and the Argus Echo is the newest camera from Reolink just for that. But once again, this is not NAS compatible, so if you're watching this video for a camera that's compatible with your NAS, can I strongly recommend the Reolink C2 Pro. I've talked about it on the channel before. It is a damn fine camera, and probably one of the best IP cameras I've used in a very long time. That's a pod camera. Don't get me wrong, outside not so much, but as a wireless internal camera that's supported by NASs to protect your home, that is a goodie. But over to the Argus. Now, the Argus is available now for about 75 quid. I think it's a little bit more expensive on Amazon, so I do recommend that you head over to Reolink's own website right now to buy it. They've got, like, they'll be in your region, but moreover, they have given me a code to talk about here. I know who thought I'd ever do this, but there should be a code on the screen right now, but otherwise it is NAS Reo 10 off. So NAS REO 10 OFF. There's like Blue Peter stuff out the way, but that gives you 10% off the order, which is not too shabby, to be honest, is it? But onto the product. The product itself is an external wall-mounted camera. It's got battery ports inside it, so you can put rechargeable batteries, and it even supports Reolink's new solar panel as well. So they've got a £25 solar panel knocking around as well. And rather than roll this into this video, I'm going to make a separate video about the solar panel after this, and then a third video where I'm going to take this out and about and record in a daylight environment. Today in England right now, it is not sunny. I know, who knew? So I'm going to wait till a slightly more sunny day to utilise that solar panel to show you it in action. But the Argus, and I'm going to have to revert to my notes from time to time. This camera here is a Wi-Fi enabled camera that can be utilised by rechargeable batteries inside or connected to a supported solar panel. It utilises 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and the device itself is designed to be as wireless as possible. So whether you're using it with batteries, or if you're going to be using it with a direct connection to the solar panel, the idea is that there's either going to be no wires or no wires running into your home. The idea is to have a complete standalone solution outside your house. Now, because it's outside, it is weatherproofed. It's an IP65 weatherproof camera, which means it's dustproof, and if there's a sustained water volley at it, it will survive. Now, I've talked about other cameras in the past with IP66. The difference between these is that is a sustained downpour of water on a device. That is what IP66 protects you from. This protects you from a large burst of water directly at the device, which you probably won't get unless someone intentionally is firing water pistols at something like this. So again, quite handy, and it does keep it very, very affordable, but yet protected. On top of that, the device has got that solar panel support built into it with the utilisation of a cable between them, but you can use standard non-chargeable batteries or just any old batteries, though it's a bit wasteful to keep knocking around. And before I talk more about the specifications though, let's take a look at this device. Now, Reolink have gone for a nice black design there on their retail packaging. If you look at it up there, you can see a lot more about that. I think one of my lights just went a bit dark. Now, if we open into that, let's go for it there. it should be mentioned that in order to access this camera, you will need to utilize the mobile application. It's completely free and it's available on iOS and Android. So again, because you don't have a NAS to support this, you will have to bear in mind that you will have to install an app on a mobile phone or tablet in order to receive notifications, push notifications, and see more and more and customize that camera. This is not a pan tilt zoom camera either, so bear that in mind as well. If we open it up, got a neat little packet there that says be prepared for Reolink. So let's have a look inside there. Open this bad boy up, have a look in there, and inside we have our information pack and some more information about wall mounting this device. I'm just going to ramp up that light a little bit there. Open that up there. Hello guys, you can see me a little bit better now. So we've got the wall mount there that you can stick to the wall when you're attaching this camera up there. Instructions on first time information and a certificate of conformity. A sticker for your wall that tells people to stay the hell out. And that full installation guide there. And again, I've gone through this guide before in the case of the C2 Pro. It's a nice guide. It's not awkward language. It's in multiple languages. It's not kind of poorly translated or anything, and also it's a paper manual. Where, like, why did these stop happening? Don't get me wrong, probably the rainforest, but it's still nice to use one. So inside we have quite a nice laid out design here. I'll be honest, it's 70 odd nicker. This is pretty impressive aesthetic design, and Reolink really has come forward a hell of a lot of time, a hell of a lot in such a short amount of time. I know I talk about them a lot. They're still my favourite camera brand. There's no avoiding it. And I'm trying to stop my own personal feelings seeping into this hardware review, but there's no denying I'm a big fan of theirs and their product. I've never utilised it outside of NAS though, really, so I look forward to seeing it in that way. There is the camera itself. We'll come to that in just a second. We have a USB charger cable there. So if you're using chargeable batteries, that will help. You've got that wall mount there for attaching it on your wall. A strap there, I believe, for cabling. Screws and raw plugs. Let's face it, it's all going to be B&Q up in here. And an aerial for getting that wireless connectivity with this camera. Now, the idea is that you get this camera connected to your internet connection in your home environment. So you will have to be within Wi-Fi range of your home or office environment, but from there it can push that information to your app, not just via the network, but of course via the internet. You will have to create a Reolink account almost certainly, but that's a small price to pay for a standalone solution, and of course they are going to have to support you in that way. So we've got the aerial on there to remove that plastic and have a good look at our camera. Now again, you don't necessarily have to wall mount this. I would, but you don't have to, and it doesn't have to work outside the home either. It's actually quite a nice contained device there. On the rear, you've got, if we open that up there, you've got, I believe, what is going to be the power port. If I open it from the right end. And in there we've got our USB power on the rear of the device. And of course we can remove those screws based into the back of the device to keep it dust proof. And that is where the batteries are installed. If we look at the base of the device, we can see a speaker, because this device supports audio in and out, which means that you can record sound coming in, and you can project sound if necessary if you're using it as a door or to give a notification or alert. And indeed, the application does support lots of pre-made audio alerts that you can deliver, and it's supported by things like Amazon Alexa. Oh, actually, no, it supports Google Home right now, but Amazon Alexa is still in the works. But hopefully by the time of publication, or very much soon afterwards, this will be supported by Amazon's Alexa platform. Also on the base of the device, we have an SD card slot if you were going to utilize raw recording in this rather than push notifications, and under simple on and off switch. So again, it's quite a petite little device. It feels quite sturdy. I don't know how well I can get that picked up on the mic, but it feels quite sturdy. On the front, we've got that camera lens there, and it's a 1080p recorded video feed. And again, that if you want full 1080p, you will have to reduce it, I believe, to 15 frames per second. You've also got LEDs in there that give you up to 10 meters of coverage. I think it's about 30 odd feet. And on top of that, it supports a different kind of motion tracking. I may have to go back to my notes, but it utilizes passive infrared for recording. Now, typical infrared recording and motion detection is one where it is simply just movement of pixels, but we're finding out more and more cameras like this just aren't cutting it because of things like leaves moving and stuff like that. So PIR gives you the ability to the camera to differentiate heat levels and infrared heat levels between one thing and another, and it detects true motion that way. On top of that, the recordings are in H.264 format, so do bear that in mind if that is a compatibility problem for you, but I don't think it will be because, you know, H.265 is the current standard, but to be perfectly frank, everything really supports 264. It's just a slightly denser codec that you're going to get from better cameras. It's just that way, it's just the way it is. And apart from that, it's got a 6x digital zoom, which is going to be pretty bloody handy, because don't get me wrong, the lack of pan tilt zoom is a bit of a problem with this, but this is a style of camera that will never have pan tilt zoom anyway. If you've ever been to any kind of office that has these set up, this isn't a camera that's on an operated system. So the fact that it doesn't have pan tilt zoom is not an enormous surprise to me. And the device itself has got that dedicated app as well as more. It's got night vision, of course, again up to like 10 meters that we discussed, and indeed that PIR, passive infrared, covers that distance as well at night. And the LED will click in. Anyone that's ever used one of these cameras, the LEDs will kick in as soon as the light sensor at the front can sense that the ambient light has dipped. So as soon as the ambient light dips in any room, the lights will click on. Anyone that's ever had one of these cameras in their house, any kind of infrared camera really, and you're watching TV at night and you've got a camera in the room, the LEDs tend to click on and off when you're watching something where the light goes up and down. It's, you know, just the way it is with infrared. And on the outside camera, that's going to be less of a problem. But apart from that, that has been the Reolink Argus Echo. I am going to do a full overview of this utilizing their companion app, and I am going to do a separate video, a much shorter video, about this solar panel, because when we do the overall together video of both of these showing the performance of them, I think it's better to do a separate one of the solar panels so you get some idea of the quality of what we're talking about. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you are interested in buying this camera, remember that promo code. Once again, the promo code is NASREO 10OFF, NASREO. So go into the NASREO off, go down there, get that code, go to Reolink's own website, and it knocks 10% off the price, which again is not exactly an expensive camera anyway. So that's not too bad, is it? But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned and click the bell for notifications towards the new devices. Cheerio.